That burning, shooting, sometimes electric pain that goes from your low back down through your glutes and into your leg, it's one of the most disabling types of pain that exists. And if you got it right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. My name is Dr. Dustin Scott. I'm a chiropractor here in Ames, Iowa. And sciatica is one of the most common conditions I see in practice every day. I also see a massive amount of confusion about what sciatica actually is and what creates it and what actually helps versus what makes it worse. So that's exactly what we're going to cover today. Sciatica is not a diagnosis. It's just a symptom. It just refers to pain, tingling, numbness, or weakness that travels the path of the sciatic nerve. So the sciatic nerve is the largest nerve in your entire body. Okay? It starts in the lower lumbar spine, passes through the pelvis and runs through the glute, and travels all the way down the back of the leg to the foot. When the nerve gets irritated or compressed anywhere along its course, you can get symptoms anywhere in that territory. That's why some people feel it in their glute. Some feel it in their calf. Okay, others will feel it all the way down to the foot, even though the problem is in the spine or the pelvis. Here's what's important. Because sciatica is a symptom and not a diagnosis, treating it effectively requires knowing what's going on and causing the nerve irritation. And there are at least 3 different causes that require different treatment approaches. Cause number 1, lumbar disc herniation. This is the most common cause. The disc material presses out directly on the nerve root that form the sciatic nerve. This type will respond really well to decompression therapy, where we start to stretch and open up that spine to take pressure off the nerve and bring that jelly disc material back in. Cause number 2, this is known as piriformis syndrome. The piriformis is a small muscle deep in the glute region. It sits directly over and sometimes through or around the sciatic nerve. When this muscle gets tight, spasms, or inflames, it can compress the sciatic nerve and produce symptoms that are nearly identical to a disc-based sciatica. Okay, so let's get into cause number 3, spinal stenosis. It's where the spinal canal or the exit holes in which the nerve roots leave the spine have narrowed, and usually due to a degenerative change like bone spurs, thickened ligaments, or a disc completely collapsing. The symptoms often affect both legs, and it worsens when you're walking or standing for extended periods of time. Patients will frequently describe this relief when they sit down or when they bend forward. This is more common in patients over 60 and requires a different type of treatment. This, we're typically going to get deep into our soft wave therapy for a high level of stem cell activation and inflammation decrease. Without a proper examination, I can't tell you from a video which type of sciatica you have. But here are some patterns that point in a direction. If your pain started in the low back and then progressed into the legs, disc is most likely. If your pain started in the hip and in the glute without much lower back involvement, think piriformis. If you get a significant amount of relief from sitting down and your symptoms have been gradually progressing over the years, stenosis might be more likely. The definitive way to determine the cause is a clinical examination combined with the appropriate imaging, x-rays to assess alignment and the joint space. At our office, we perform a thorough neurological orthopedic screening specifically designed to identify the source before we ever begin any treatment. A few common things that patients try that tend to make sciatica worse. Prolonged sitting. Most disc-based sciatica gets significantly worse with sustained sitting because sitting increases the disc pressure. Okay, so that pressure, if your job requires sitting, you need to stand up every 20 to 30 minutes. Walk around, okay, a short distance. Try to reset. Heavy stretching into flexion, bending forward aggressively with that low back. This is very counterintuitive because sometimes feels temporarily good, but it's loading the structure that's already failing. Ignoring progressive neurological symptoms, meaning something's traveling and radiating and shooting. If your weakness is getting worse, if your foot is dropping, if your grip is weakening, if you're having any bladder or bowel changes, this requires urgent medical evaluation because progressive neurological deficit is not something you need to wait on. Waiting and hoping it goes away, sciatica can resolve on its own, but without addressing the underlying cause, remember, it's just a symptom. It's often going to come back, and each occurrence tends to be a little worse than the last. These exercises are appropriate for most sciatica patients, but stop if that produces significant radiating pain and consult some healthcare provider, preferably your local chiropractor. All right, exercise 1, the Mackenzie press up. Lie face down, hands under your shoulders like you're about to do a push-up. Press your upper body up while leaving your pelvis on the floor. Hold for 2 to 3 seconds. This extension movement is one of the most evidence-based interventions for disc-related sciatica. It creates a directional preference that centralizes the pain. Do 10 reps slowly. Exercise number 2, the piriformis stretch. On your back, cross your right ankle over your left knee. Pull the left thigh toward your chest. Hold 30 seconds each side. This is the single most important stretch for piriformis syndrome. Exercise 3, walking. Simple, consistent walking. 20 to 30 minutes daily. Maintains blood flow to the disc, the nerves. It prevents you from breaking down and deconditioning, and in many cases produces significant improvement over time. Don't underestimate walking. Exercise number 4, the bird dog. On hands and knees, extend your right arm and your left leg simultaneously. Hold for 3 seconds. Return back to neutral and switch sides. This activates deep lumbar stabilizers, the muscles that reduce stress on the disc, without loading the spine in a way sit-ups often do. Exercise number 5, the nerve floss. Sit in a chair, straighten your affected leg while simultaneously tilting your head back, then return back to neutral. 10 slow reps. This technique gently mobilizes the sciatic nerve through its course, reducing adhesions that might be developing around the nerve tissue. It can feel strange at first, but should not produce sharp pain. Chiropractic care is one of the first-line evidence-supported treatments for sciatica nerve pain, particularly when it's coming from the lumbar disc or joint dysfunction. Specific chiropractic adjustments restore motion to restricted lumbar joints. It reduces inflammation and improves the mechanical environment that contributes to nerve compression. For piriformis syndrome, pelvic adjustments combined with soft tissue work to the piriformis itself often produce dramatic, rapid improvement. Research on chiropractic for sciatica consistently shows it to be an effective and superior to any conventional medical management for the majority of patients with non-surgical sciatica. For disc-based sciatica specifically, spinal decompression therapy is one of the most powerful tools. The mechanism specifically is by creating a negative intradiscal pressure, we can pull the herniation back away from the nerve root. This is the same principle that makes symptoms worse when you increase pressure by sitting, by bending, by coughing, just in reverse, right? So instead of pressing out, this is going to be sucking that disc material back in. A typical decompression protocol for sciatica involves 24, 36, maybe 48 sessions. We're talking 4, 6, 8 months, often combined with soft wave therapy. Of course, depending on severity, proximity, depending on what affected tissues are needing to be healed, most patients notice significant reduction in leg symptoms within the first 6 to 8 sessions. Now, just because the symptoms are gone doesn't mean we don't have to fix the structure. So once the symptoms are gone, that's really when we get to work and when lasting change is set. Now, maybe you've heard of a lumbar discectomy, right? The surgical removal of the herniated disc material. It's occasionally the right choice, occasionally, right? Specifically, when there's a progressive neurological deficit, there's a loss of bladder or bowel function, or the appropriate conservative care has been tried, right, for an extended amount of time without any improvement. For pain alone, even severe pain, surgery is rarely the best first option. Studies comparing surgery versus conventional chiropractic outcomes for disc-based sciatica consistently, every time, show that long-term outcomes are similar and that many surgical patients eventually develop some kind of segment issue that ends up growing into some other issue that much faster. At the Connect Chiropractic, I will always tell you honestly if I think surgery is warranted for your case specifically. That's what you deserve, honestly, not a treatment approach driven by what we offer here. If you're dealing with sciatica nerve pain in the Ames area and want to find out what's actually causing it and what we can do about it, we'd love to see you. We're at 1110 Buckeye Avenue in Ames, Iowa. Schedule at www.theconnectchiro.com or call 515-934-8267. New patients are always welcome. Walk-ins are accepted. If this video is helpful, share. Subscribe to our channel for weekly educational content. We're on a mission. Help as many people as possible with natural chiropractic care. I'll see you on the next one.